Today is February 1st. February represents the beginning of the celebration of African Americans. And a holiday that a lot of African Americans celebrate, but not a lot of people know about, is a holiday called Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is celebrated by 2% of Americans based on an article that was published in NPR, which represents about 6 million Americans. Kwanzaa is a celebration of African American culture and heritage. It was created by Maulana Karenga in 1966 to try to unify African Americans and to celebrate their heritage and their history. It was created in a time when Martin Luther was still alive, and it was created in a time where African Americans were still fighting for their place in American society and trying to get their equal rights and the things that they deserved. So I wanted to talk about Kwanzaa because I feel that there isn't enough about it. People don't generally know about it, and so I wanted to take this time to try to talk about it. So Kwanzaa was created in 1966, like I said. It is to celebrate African American heritage, and it is celebrated for 7 days from December 26th until January 1st. So most families that celebrate Kwanzaa celebrate it differently, but a lot of times it is celebrated with storytelling, poem readings, drums, and traditional meals served throughout the course of the 7 days. Each of the 7 days of Kwanzaa represents a different aspect of their culture, a different principle that they want to represent. So the 7 things that are represented throughout those 7 days are a mat that is typically made of straw, crops, a candle holder, 7 candles, a unity cup, gifts, and crops, or corn, and each of those 7 objects represent something else, something different about their heritage, their history. So the crops represent the roots of African Americans in agriculture, and it is given each day to celebrate those who labored to grow them. There is a mat that is made of straw. That is where all the objects are placed and represents the foundation of the African American traditions and the African American history. And then you have a candle holder that is filled with 7 candles. The candle holder, I actually have a little thing that I can show you here. So there's a candle holder here. The candle holder is there to represent, as you can see, it kind of comes together. It represents the ancestral origins of 55 different African countries. So it kind of comes up into a horn and then comes down and comes together. It represents kind of the coming together of African Americans. And then you have 7 candles. On one side are 3 green, on the other side are 3 red, and then in the middle is a black candle, and that represents the colors of the flag of African nations that are going through liberations. And then here you have the unity cup, which symbolizes the unity of family and the African people. And then you have gifts, which are commitment of parents to children. Typically the gifts are used to be educational. They are books, art, something of that nature. It's normally used to enrich the lives of the youth, to try to teach them things, to try to help get them an idea as to what the heritage is, and an idea of where they came from and where they are today. And then it ends, so the celebration goes from December 26th until January 1st. It's kind of thought to be similar to like a Thanksgiving celebration for those 7 days, with food and family and gatherings. So I think that there's a loss of connection in people, and a lot of times people don't know or don't hear or don't read about Kwanzaa. And this is a holiday that is celebrated by 6 million Americans, which is just such a large number, and it's just so misrepresented by social media or commercials or anything like that. You don't ever really hear about it. So I wanted to get an opportunity to tell about the story, and so that people can go out, educate themselves, and be able to celebrate, or at least be aware themselves, and be thankful for where they came from.